on Final Fantasy XIV so I can showcase story and give backward context for when we eventually start the next expansion coming in a couple of months. So we're going to... let's do this one as a Rogadin. He's going to be a big old fat guy just like me. And so we have him in the different environments. We're going to be a green hulky boy. And let's give him a birthday. When do you think he should be... this giant Rogadin should be born, dear? What day, what time of the year?
Wait,
Huh?
what game are you playing first of all?
Final Fantasy.
Oh. What are you...
I'm not sure what job he's going to be yet. Right now I have to go through his birthday. He's a Rogadin. He's like my main character.
Ooh, hot. I feel like that's like a September, October, maybe. So I feel like the bunny people are like born in spring. Same thing with the little tiny wee people. But they're like big and beastly and just awesome. You know, hardy like Russians.
Party like Russians. Okay, so you want him to be September.
Yeah, I think. Because of course my birthday was yesterday, so I'm like, oh, make it my birthday. I'm like, no. Because the ones who are the Virgos are just the humans.
So this game's equivalent of September is the 5th astral moon.
Okay, so what does that come like?
It doesn't mean anything.
They
Uh,
each have something. Like, doesn't it like they worship under a certain god or goddess or something like that?
no, that's a separate thing. So there's 32 days in the month of September in this game. Yes. So, September 1st through the 32nd. Let's give him a I'm going to close my eyes, and we're going to stop at a random point when Candace says stop.
So,
He is going to be born on the 4th of the 5th astral moon.
there you go.
Alright, so we have Halone the Fury.
It's like 9 pieces of 8.
No, it is not like 9 pieces of 8.
Yes, it is.
Halone, mover of glaciers and goddess of war. Menfina, keeper of the moon and goddess of love. Thaliak, god of wisdom. And we're going to go with Azema, keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry.
Yes, that works.
Mainly because she's associated with the correct month, which is month number 9.
Huh.
So we have tank, punchy guy, other tank, pointy stick guy, or bow guy. Or healer, black mage, or summoner / scholar.
Well, being a thaumaturge, considering that the thaumaturge are teeny tiny child-looking,
NPCs.
and he's like,
A giant fucking green guy.
yeah.
So you want me to be a thaumaturge?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Alright.
Don't do that. What's gladiator?
Gladiator eventually becomes a paladin. He's a sword and shield bro.
Okay. How do you say that? Pugilist?
Pugilist. He punches and kicks people to death. And he becomes a monk.
Okay, I was gonna say, so he's a monk. Marauder.
Marauder becomes warrior. He's a guy with a big ass axe. That's what my main character is for his tank spec that I normally play.
And then Lancer is what?
Is pointy stick jumpy guy.
The-
He pokes you and jumps away.
I feel like with how big he is, he's probably not super agile. And then Archer.
Archer turns into Bard, which is a really annoying ass class.
Wow. So it's between gladiator and pugilist. Marauder is meh. Lancer, no. Archer, no thank you.
So, gladiator, marauder, lancer, archer, pugilist. Pugilist will be the fastest of the ones in this class because they have a trait called greased lightning. And it used to be, back when I first started playing, that you had to manually keep it up because you had to go through your forms in the proper order to keep it up. Now it's just a passive trait that you always have.
Oh, well that's cool. Yeah. Have you played that kind before?
I have it at level 80 on my main character. It's just not one I normally play that much.
Oh. Which
So-
probably works out for a monk.
So this is Overnight Joe Games. Confirmed. It's registering to see if I can use that name. I'd better. Interesting little jig dance he did there, but okay.
He's excited to be alive.
He should be.
Let him have his joy.
The world is currently full. 15 players in queue.
So... Dang. Okay.
Oh, that's actually a pretty small queue. That won't take very long at all. But, so we're going to be starting in the city of Ul'dah. And we will be going to the Pugilist Guild, where I shall get my first fist weapon.
Is Ul'dah where I started too?
You started as a Traumaturge, yes? A Black Mage wannabe? Fire and Ice?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yes, that would be where you started.
It sounded familiar. Is there like a better
Gladi-
area to start in?
Well, Uldah's pretty much got the best layout as far as I'm concerned. Here we go. We're in the world. We start with the Mother Crystal. Hydaelyn. And me floating in space. Because I'm a badass like that.
You are the chosen one. Chosen one.
No, it's not anything like that.
Here. Don't. That's rude. Don't say that. That's inappropriate.
Here. Feel.
This weird star thing.
Walk towards the light, Iliad.
Oh no! It's a black hole! There's a guy reaching for me! Quick! Let me punch him in the face!
I swear that guy looks like you.
Feel.
My character or the guy in the mask?
Your character.
And this is what the monk outfit looks like at level 50.
Wow, that's so cool. Oh, so they like completely raise his legs.
Go! Kestis of Light! Punch him in the face! Bam!
Oh, you weren't kidding about punching him in the face. Alright, cool.
I just wish it would let me do it, because then it would be more hilarious.
Maybe.
Well, let's see. Yes. I didn't mean to skip that, damn it. Oh, I'm in a cart.
In a cart? We're in a
You
boat
alright,
before.
lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there.
We're just supposed to be on a boat.
So what?
Isn't it supposed to be on a boat?
That's only if you're going to Limsa Lominsa.
Oh, well, I was on the boat the last time.
Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. We'll get used to it, though, don't worry. In Shadowbringers, when that guy's seen his voice acted, he has a very goofy voice. It's not one I can replicate, but... You there! Halt! Carriage driver. What's all this about, then? Inspection! Men, search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. By the way, these guys are corrupt as fuck.
So they're shaking him down, basically.
For lack of a better word. Sir, look! Somnus! Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Heh, business as usual. And so there's an arrow there. Amulja! Amulja! To arms! To arms! Seven hells! Consider this a warning! Now go! All of you! That's right, you pimp smack them corrupt ass guards. Well, I mean, that one just died, but...
Yeah, I know.
Phew! That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them youngins don't much care for conversation, see? They become important later. Brent's the name, and peddlin's me trade.
So he's a grown-ass man, shouldn't be talking to children.
And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Should I gain power, to win glory, or to amass a fortune?
I mean...
To gain power.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I mean...
So I can punch the moon!
Oh my god.
Power as in... power to do good, like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that? Aye, I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. As long as you don't play World of Warcraft. When you arrive in town, you'd best enroll at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild, neither. Old Daw's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fists, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember, though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Old Daw? No. But of course it ain't. Still might be, as this journey to itinerant has a few new things to teach you about your destination. Ahem. Old Daw is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they showed no sign of stopping. Of course, the lizard men, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Old Don politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers. Need breed and profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Old Da, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold. See, now when they said that, they should have given us like a nice view of the cityscape, but they don't.
Yeah.
It just fades to a fucking black screen.
Yeah, I
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ulda.
go through the city. Yeah.
Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
Because he shall punch the very gods themselves. And here's where we part ways, lad. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
And so it begins. The great journey of Overnight Joe Games. The man who would punch the gods themselves into submission. But it's not just punches. There's also kicks and weird blue chi channeling things. And the wife was about to be snoring. Oi, adventurer! Over here! Aye, I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance, eh? How can I tell? Ha! Name's Wyman, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once like. Welcome to Ulda, the shining beacon of prosperity, rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Mouse and keyboard, duh. Follow the instructions to move your character and adjust the position of the camera. When you are ready to proceed, speak to Wyman. Alright, so first order of business, get rid of that. Second order of business, we're going to HUD layout, hotbars, hotbar 7, good enough. Okay. Talking to myself. Alright, Mr. Wyman. I don't need your help information, thank you. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Dun dun dun. Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventurer. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. Complete a quest by right-clicking, blah 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 blah. Get some snack out of the snack basket. Why, hello there. Who might you be? And this is what they call a popoto, or a potato, in common speak. If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name is Momodi, and I own this fine establishment if it pleases your eyes. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on forever now. Then there's the Garlian Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are, in fact, plotting something. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an eighth hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that. But the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, It's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten. And so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand, and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then. Promise is a promise now. I'm counting on you to help put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register neat as you can. My name is X. Overnight Joe Games. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. I'm glad you think so. Alright, Mr. Games. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a fourth chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. In other words, bring me your relationship gossip. Any road. Welcome to Ul'dah, Overnight Joe. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little bit about our fair city. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. That means now it's time for our raid boss. No, I'm kidding. You've taken the first step as an adventurer in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Momodi Modi. All the Lalafell Popoto people have names like that. Like Tataru Taru and Momodi Modi. And Papalimo Popolimo. Hey, I'm level 2. Next quest. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetheryte Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetheryte. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Overnight Joe? Yes, many times. If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Pugilist Guild over at the Platinum Mirage. Assuming those weapons of yours ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you've got the guild. Just make sure as you don't pay more than you ought overnight, Joe. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short, then, visit the plaza, the Punchers Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there are more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after Gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. These lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. Your small clothes being your underpants. Now that we've got the introductory quest out of the way, it'll be time to run to a mailbox. Once it loads in. Come on, man. Load in. Load this game, I say. Yeah, I don't care about your active health entries, thank you. I don't need them. So as we can see, I have a weathered horror, which is a punchy thing. Rogadin harness, bracers, pants, and boots, and then a bunch of random earrings. Oh no, I'm pantsless. But it didn't change. There it goes. Now it finally changed my character. Pants. Alright. Enough playing dress up. Now I like to run with the map open so I can see what the f I'm doing. But, first, we're going to attune to all the little Aethernet shards. Ul'dah has quite a few of them. There's the one for the quicksand. Yes, I know I now have access to the Ethernet. It means I can teleport back here once I find another one. So first we're going to run down the Ruby Road Exchange here in just a moment. And here's where they have the Ul'dah dancers. I don't know if they're out and about right now. Looks like they might be. We'll see in a second. Gotta load everybody in. Yeah, I don't care about your thing. I'm here for my stuff. My earring. Clothes. Other clothes. Yet more clothes. All the clothes. My friend bonus thing. Eventually, there will be a whale mount in there somewhere, but I can now summon the Wind-Up Palem for pre-ordering Endwalker. I can now Fist Bump. But now I can also have clothes in all the other places. Now I look like a desert monk. So here's the dancers you can see in the beginning cutscene. Try not to be inappropriate. What you got for me, Ryan? What do I think of Ul'dah? I think it's a terrible place. Full of rotten, disgusting people. Like all these people over here by the Aetheryte. All terrible. All rotten and disgusting. Now for a cutscene. Hail, adventurer! But you have come at the behest of Miss Momodi of the Quicksand. Yes, Nanibaru, I did. Excellent, which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. I will punch you across this field. Gah ha 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 ha. Apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. Ah, but the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Yeah. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport. Well, these transportation spells make direct use of the aetherites in their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune himself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any aetherites you encounter from now on. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. Just let me punch you across this room, that's what you should do, stupid potato. You attune with the aetherite, you are now able to use the return spell. Oh, how nice. We're gonna put that right there. That's right there. Now that we've done that, over to the right out here is the Hall of Flames, where we can be cheeky and jump up the wall. It's a good shortcut to the free company chest if you're in a free company. We're going to run across the way here, past Jajakuta, the potato that should be punted across the field, to the Pugilists Guild. Greetings and welcome to the Pugilists Guild. I see you already walked the path of the pugilist, yet your journey has only just begun. I highly recommend you add your name to our roll. For there is no better place in all the realm to train in our discipline than here. The origins of pugilism as we know it can be traced back to the staging of bare-handed bouts at the Colosseum. These contests attracted fighters from far and wide, bringing their myriad styles crashing together on the bloodsands. Amidst this chaotic intermingling of styles, there rose a pugilist of singular strength and skill. This woman made it her life's mission to master every form she encountered, so that she might refine her art. In other words, she wanted to get better at certain naughty activities that I will not discuss. Among her many song-worthy exploits, We pugilists remember her participation in the gladiator tournament most fondly. Back when barehanded fighting was still seen as a pastime for peasants, she took on fully armed and armored gladiators and effortlessly bested the lot of them. In other words, she beat the pants off them. Word of her feat spread across the realm like wildfire, of course, and Ul'dah swiftly transformed into a center of pugilism, with people flocking from all over to train under this master among masters. The woman's name was Cornelia, and it is to her that the Pugilist Guild owes its existence. The art practiced here is based on her all-encompassing style, and this training hall is modeled upon the one that she once built. And there it is, a brief history of our guild. I've told this tale 1,000 times, but gods, it never fails to fan the flames of my fighting spirit. Now then, should you wish to proceed with enrollment, you must first obtain the guildmaster's approval. Let me know if you would like to meet him. Yes. Yes, I would like to join the Pugilist Guild. Master Ham Sandwich is among the greatest pugilists of our time. For long years, the man ruled the Blood Sands as the Holy Fist, though he has since retired in favor of training aspiring fighters. You'll find him overseeing his charges yonder. Go now and show to him the fighting spirit that burns within you. Hehe, past time you got your arse back here. Well, what did the dancer have to say about my proposition? You're not my errand boy. There's no dancer, there never was. I'm not doing anything indecent, I swear to the gods. Damn lecherous old man. What? You're here to enroll? Oh ho ho, well why didn't you say so sooner? In my capacity as guildmaster, I would be glad to give you a primer on the art of hand-to-hand combat. Doubtless you already know this, but we pugilists fight with our fists and feet. While these don't deal as much damage as a blade, it hardly matters when you can land several blows for each swing of the sword. What we lack in destructive force, we more than make up for in speed and cunning. Under my guidance, not only will you master striking techniques, you'll also learn to string them together to deliver an endless flurry of blows. Only through such fierce combinations can a pugilist realize his potential. Yah! This guy is very clearly Master Roshi. Cough, wheeze. Crikey, I'm spent from all this talking. You ought to speak more, son. It'd give me a chance to catch my breath. But where was I? Alright, joining the guild. Before you do so, I must warn you that the path of the pugilist is long and arduous. Do you believe you've got what it takes to go the distance? Be honest with yourself now. Yes, I can. I will punch God in the face. Yes, you have fighting spirit. I can see it in your eyes. I see no reason to deny you a place in these halls. Welcome to the guild, son. Don't call me that, dirty old man. For your first lesson, I want you to test your fledgling skills against the vermin of Thanalan. Get out there and put down 3 marmots, 3 hornets, and 3 shrews. Return here when the deed is done. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Hey, you. I saw you looking at me. You got something to say, huh? No? Well, I do. You know Didi Lotta? Short, broke, never pays what he owes? Yeah, that bleeding whoreson. Tell him to pay up, or I swear by the 12 I'll beat him so hard it'll feel like the second coming of Dalamu. If I see that little shite's face, I'll end up pounding him into a bloody pulp like it's not. So you go and tell him. This is what's known as a side quest. It's necessary for the briefest moment, before the MSQ actually picks up enough to give you enough XP to just go to the next area. This son of a whore over here. Oh, gods be good. Gelther's goon. Alright, I'll give back every gil I owe, I swear it. But no more beatings, I beg you. That's what I thought. Now we're gonna come over here by the Arsoneth Ossuary / Eralig's burial chamber. Get this aetherite. This is where you go to become a thaumaturge, aka a black mage. My character looks like a monkey when he jumps. This is where you become a gladiator, is over here. And we're going to go up these stairs and around this corner. And this is where you can become a goldsmith, aka jewelry crafter if you're from WoW. I actually used to play WoW way back in the day, but I gave it up after Legion because I took one look at Battle for Azeroth and it looked absolutely terrible, and I never looked back. Then when they announced Shadowlands, that also looked terrible, so I was like, yep, I made the right decision. Yeah, I made the right decision the first time. We're going to go around the corner. I'm going to jump like a monkey. Thosenfalk Furoblate. This guy's an RPer. And here's where you can learn cloth crafting. Sadly, there's no bag making in this game, so you can't make money off of it that way. But you can certainly make endgame armors and things of that nature. That is definitely a thing in this game. Specifically profession-wise, there's carpentry, armorcraft, blacksmithing, leatherworking, culinarian, alchemist, weaver, and there's one more that I forgot that I can't remember off the top of my head. And you are? Ho, a newly come adventurer, but of course, yes. I am Ciceroga. What can I do for you? Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Uldan for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. I offer you this letter. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. I shall punch you across this marketplace. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ulda's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortiums have chosen Ulda as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders, day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient coin. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps, or a shinier trinket. Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you will find merchants peddling armor and accessories. curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. In other words, what he's saying is don't buy a house on a whim. Ahem. That is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now, off with you. It's too bad I can't actually punt him, but I can emote it, and that is good enough. Now we're going to go back over by the, actually, did I hit this one? I don't know if I did or not. Let's double check. I had not. Good thing I went and double checked. Because we want to go back over by the Weaver's Guild. We're going to go this way. And up these stairs to yet another area. For the last 2 aetherites. The Chamber of Rule and the Alchemist's Guild. Which resemble but is legally distinct from not the Lollipop Guild. Through this door? I can. Sprint. The last one. The last shard. You have attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards of Oldham. Gate of Nald, Thal, and Sultana are now available, as well as the airship landing. Which is all well and good. Hey, let me click this Ethernet shard. Why are you being a butt? Gate of Nald, the central thing lane, where I shall go punch things. Punch. Punch. Punch again. My gear is now soulbound. Punch. 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 How did I get this high quality? Oh, I got a high quality piece of marmot meat. Now, ordinarily, this does more damage if you are behind me. So, for example, on this huge hornet. See this little gap in the hitbox here? See how much more damage that did? Got it in 2 instead of 3. This is a class that has positional DPS. Very important. Alright. I don't have them out yet, so I will have to sprint. Go! Run as fast as you can. No, we are not participating in that feat. Not yet. Also, there is something really satisfying about the way monk combat sounds, at least with the boot shine combo. Alright. Last tree. And that concludes that. Now we're going to hit return, which is a free teleport, and teleport back to Uldog Steps of Nald. It's got like a ridiculously long cooldown. It's basically like a Hearthstone from World of Warcraft. As you can see, it's got a 900-second cooldown. So if you divide that by 60, that'd be something like a 15-20 minute cooldown. You know, something ridiculous like that. Alright, ham on Holy Fist. Ah, you're back, and none the worse for the exertion. Youthful vigor is a truly blessed thing. You've gotten off to a fine start, son. To help you on your way, I want you to have this hunting log. Within, you'll find the names of various creatures, opponents that you might hone your skills against. If you want to become strong, you mustn't neglect your training. Indeed, a pugilist is only as good as the number of strikes he's dealt. Get out there, Overnight Joe, and let your fists fly. When the time is ripe, I'll teach you something new. There is no limit to the potential of youth. I look forward to seeing you come into your own. Ha ha ha. Next quest will be available from Ham on Holy Fist upon reaching level 5. Well, I'm level 3. As you can see, it's rated down. Now if you look, hornets, marmots, cactuars, etc. are part of the hunting log. So when I get to the next quest, that will be a thing I will be killing on my way through. Now we're going to come back up this way. We're going to make the Moogle check my mail again. I want my sky whale. Bullshit. He'll get around to giving me my shit eventually. In the meantime, let's run past the dancers. Not to be confused with the actual character class dancer. These are, you know, the equivalent of the night elves dancing on mailboxes in Stormwind. How was your tour of the city, Overnight Joe? Did you get lost? Aye, well, Uldar's a big place with lots to see and do. But wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, eh? Alright then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Yes, I'm going to make all of my money off of you, thank you. By punting you across the world. What? Level 4? That's bullshit. Alright, guess we're going to do the hunting log now. Go punch a couple of things so I can hit level 4. If I'm not mistaken, level 4 is where I get, let's see. Yeah, True Strike. The other rear combo. Alright, just Star Marmot. Bow. Now I have 1 and 2. Boom. Oh, I gotta kill a hornet again. There we go. That's 2 targets on the hunting log. And that should be enough to get me ahead enough that I can continue on with these grand quests. Well, young one, how are you finding our fine old then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Uldar are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you, name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Uldar dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall, and you'll see the Gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it before long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Alright guys, we're going to be right back. I'm going to go grab a beverage. Alright, we are back. Let's run out the gate, go punch some more things. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. What else we got in the hunting log? Cactuar, Snapping Shrew, Oroban, Buzzard, Sprigans. So it's a couple of these thingies. Last one. Kick. Punch. Kick. Boom shakalaka. Alright, Papa Sean, Popo Sean. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect, I am Papa Sean, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell, passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now, true old ons work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Old Ah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways which run through this dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Old Ah needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited for one of your ability. Let's take these altered thigh boots. They have better stats. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and featherbeds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Don't get my last part of my first combo until 50 or 30. That's some bullshit. Western front clear. Eastern front clear. A traditional Dunes folk bread twisted into the shape of a knot and sprinkled generously with coarse ground salt before being baked to a perfect brown resembling twilight over Thanalan. I mean, that's pretty sad. If your Twilight is pretzel brown, that's pretty ridiculous. For me, from Papa Sean, a Twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. In other words, you're a fucking coward. Yep, he's up top, unfortunately. Means I gotta take the long way around. And here we have... Is that male or female? How about no? I don't care who you are. I don't want none of your shit. Halt, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. State your name and business. A Twilight pretzel from Papa Sean? By the gods, forgive me. You could say this new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Ahem, yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papa Sean my thanks, and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. Oh, it's a servile person. Oh, it's a potato. He needs to be punted across the yard. 12 saved me, scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. Have a pretzel. You'll feel better. A Twilight pretzel? Don't mind if I do. Ah, now that's a refreshing God-stamped pretzel. I feel reborn. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot. A truly refreshing snack is a little Debbie cream pie. And some Diet Mountain Dew. You've returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how far are Sultan Swan sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles, then, and stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Stronger weapon. Overnight Joe. I have just this moment. No. The time for concealment is past. Truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news. Which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan Sworn. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see to her safe return. The Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen overnight, Joe. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Very well. I shall punch the desert. Praise the 12. I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Thanalan is vast, and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. O Sultan Tree, you are about to enter an instanced battle. Instanced battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call of duty. Now, this can be done, and you'll be capped at level 8 when you go in. But since I'm only level 6, it doesn't matter what the cap is.
Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself.
As you command, O Lilira. Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
This guy would be Thancred, by the way.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person. Alas, the station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way. As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Now we get to fight a giant gargoyle. And this is why a lot of people find Monk annoying, because you have to shift around the boss. Kick. Punch. It gets a little less annoying, but less optimal play later on when you have both combos. Because you can set it so that you only have to do it once every so often. Need you to heal me. Thanks. I'm here for punches. Come on, Tancred, kill the Blanca. Or do I have to come help you? Looks like I have to come help you. Tancred, you're so weak. Needed my help and I'm only level 6. That's some bullshit right there. Whew. And this is where you get your first crack rock. And where you first find out about the Echo. First dose of the steroid that they give you to make you OP.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
Behold, big honkin' fucker of a crystal.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
And this concludes Final Fantasy XIV.
Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation.
Ah, coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish, your impetuousness.
She's actually the Sultana, by the way.
I suspect we shall meet again before long.
We shall indeed, Thancred.
Until then, do try and stay awake.
Now we must go report to Papashan Poposhan. Thank the gods you've returned. You had us all so worried. You do realize what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured or worse? Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I have already given you cause to weep, Papashan. You and the people of Ul'dah. Please, you're not to say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It is not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papashan. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted in the future. I cannot thank you enough, Overnight Joe. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from void-sent fiends. For your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. Ah, I see you met Thancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Overnight Joe, You're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalan as you did to us today. Hey, level 7. Bloodbath is a great ability. It allows you to heal for damage that you deal. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask. I've resolved to repay a debt of gratitude, which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I've purchased from the royal plantations a prodigiously plump pumpkin, a particularly popular piece of produce. Alas, I cannot part this place to procure and proffer the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines for which I wait is late. I would prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin. Present this receipt of purchase to Gagari at the royal plantations, and she should yield it to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. If Sisadoa doesn't come calling soon, this spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. What specimen? There is no specimen. Oh, so you're to deliver this decadent delight. I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here's the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such, we are always deluged with demand. You know the way to the coffer and coffin, correct? It is beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where laborers lounge. Welcome to the coffer and coffin. A drink for you, laddie. You won't get better ale or spirits for your coin than at me place. It is believed that after eating pumpkin for the first time, the Sultana fell in love with the nutty flavor and ordered all her royal plantations to grow the vegetable. What's that? We Sisadoa asked you to bring this here to me? Ha! Hesh, so even that foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried his drink-sodden arse back home. But hell's an honest-to-God's pumpkin from the royal plantations. I can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoff down beastly amounts of meat, and it's starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies. Assuming I can get the stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for the help, laddie. Roger hears all sorts of information in his line of work, some of which may be useful to you. Word is, Blackbrush Station's sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. A bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could probably do a lot worse. Now we must go speak with Warren. Over at Blackbrush Station. But I suppose the first order of business will be attuning to this aetheryte. Now I've learned teleport. Looking for work, perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches are sellswords hired by Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it is for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you are ready, present yourself to me again. So I must have an average item level of 5 or above before returning to speak with Warren. Currently, I don't meet that requirement. Where's that merchant at? I know I saw him in here. There you go. I shall buy the leather eye patch. I shall buy the hempen tabard. The fingerless leather gloves. The hempen sarrow. I don't have enough gil. Ooh, dirty. Well, that meets the requirements. That's all that matters. So you are ready for inspections? Good, everything appears in order. Yet know that naught is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between, and I would not have you throw your life away. I have had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dents in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. Hooray! I leveled up and now I have a better chest piece. Warren has work for an adventurer willing to exterminate goblins. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through this station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Ffxi's watch. A tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question, you will find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use this silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures, then slay them. Sprinty sprint. Sprinto. Blackout. Well done. It shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagons should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruptions to ore shipments threaten not only the interests of Amagina and Sons mineral concern, but of Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train wrecks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more men like you to lend a hand. But you don't. For I am the only one like you. The only one with punches that fell gods. Zuzu Meda wishes to share with you a most amazing rumor. Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it that there is a vast untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Silde. That is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Wiston, and he is a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his new fortune to curry favor with the Sacrarium. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice, which is invariably heard, belongs to Lord Danger Dorito. He has long lavished gil upon the thaumaturges, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Wiston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he is in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may yet be a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffer and Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet Wiston and volunteer for his expedition. Alright. We are going to call it here for the night.